I stockpiled over 1,000 Sausan supply pouches. I opened them one at a time, 10 at a time, 50 at a time, and 100 at a time to try and find out if they are worth farming and what the best percentage is to open them at. It took me over 1 week of farming the Sausan area to acquire this many pouches. If this is your first time to my channel, you are missing out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so that way you can stay up to date with the latest Black Desert Mobile content. With that being said, let's dive right in. What comes in the Sausan supply pouches? It comes with a variety of items, such as sellable items ranging from 30,000 to 3 million silver. You can get the golden rings worth 30,000 silver, the goblet for 50,000, the token for 100, the scriptures for 200,000, and then you can get that Schultz commendation token, which is worth 3 million silver. You can see it in the bottom left down there. They also do come with, seeds, as you can see there underneath that, a variety of seeds at all times. It does come with resources, as you can see on the right over there. It gives you some resources as well as breath of creations and breath of lives. Now, it's not a huge amount of breaths, so don't get your hopes up. However, aside from using stamina and attempting to purchase from the market, there is no other way to acquire these bad boys via the breaths of creation or the breaths of lives. While you're farming all that silver, you're going to acquire items needed for crafting, so it's a win-win anyways. You do also get those resources. You average about 300 resources per 100 pouches. For the 1,000 that I did test. So it's not a huge amount of resources either, but again, it comes with silver and those breaths so as well. So it is a win-win-win. So where can you farm these? There's currently 6 areas. They are in North Medea. It is Sarma Outpost, Sausan Outpost, and Sausan Garrison. You can also get these from the Schultz areas. I actually haven't successfully got these, but I do know people that have, and they said they've got them at all 3. So you can get them at Schultz Shore Camp as well. I mean, the commendation is literally called Schultz Commendation Token, so it makes sense. The Schultz Defense Outpost, and then the really high area as well, the Schultz Coastal Fort. You really want to make sure you pay attention to the CP. The Schultz areas are a little bit higher, so if you're looking to farm these Sausan supply pouches, I do recommend doing it at one of the Sausan areas. Sausan Garrison is the highest CP area of the 3 of the Sausan areas, so you could go one of the other 2 options. Just make sure you pick up that repeatable quest. It is a lengthy one there in the Sausan area. It is 5,000 repeatable quests, but that is where you can farm the pouches. So that's what comes in them, and that's where you can get the pouches at. Let's talk about, is it worth it? So I conducted 4 tests, like I said at the beginning. I opened 1 pouch 20 times and recorded the results. I did the same thing with 10 pouches at a time, 20 times, and recorded the results. 50 pouches and then 100 pouches. Now for the 50 and the 100 pouches, I only recorded results 6 times. I only did it 6 times each just because it was too many, and I wanted to make sure I got a decent amount of recording sessions. Obviously, these are, very minuscule numbers in the grand scheme of things, but it gives us a good starting point at least. All right, let's take a look at the numbers. So the purple column there is the 1 times. So I pulled 1 supply pouch at a time. I recorded it 20 times. I could have done it obviously a lot more, but for time's sake, I did it 20 times. I pulled the scripture once, which is worth 200,000. I didn't pull any of the Schultz commendation tokens. I did pull 3 of the tokens worth 100,000 silver, and then the most of it, the rest of it was, the golden ring worth 30,000 and the goblet worth 50,000. The 10-time pull, you can see what I got there. I can't give you exactly what was pulled in each one. You can see somewhere at 400,000. I did get a 920,000 silver out of 10-time pull that one time. So that is really nice. I got a couple of scriptures. But the average down there at the bottom is 571,000 silver out of 10 of the supply pouches, which is pretty decent. You can farm that in under an hour, I would say, depending on your CP and your build. I did do the 50 times pull up there as well, so at 50 at a pop. I did get, that one up there that says almost 6 million, the second one in there, almost 6 million silver for that pull, and that's because I did get one of those Schultz commendation tokens, so that's going to obviously skew the numbers slightly. especially with only 1,000 pouches pulled, and I only got 3 total commendations, so wherever those are placed, they are going to skew slightly. The 100 time pull, I did pull 1 commendation out of the 6 of those that I did do. It was the first one. I got almost 9 million total silver out of that pull, and out of the 100 times pull, you can see there the average is a little over 6 million, so it is pretty lucrative as far as the silver. I didn't record all the resources that you did gain, however, I did record the averages down here to see with the best pull rate, whether it's 1 times, 10 times, 50 times, or 100 times. You are going to be able to farm a lot of these. This is something you're going to be able to farm over the next week or two, so it's going to be something you want to pay attention to, especially if you can stockpile these. So stockpiling these pouches could be a very viable option as well. Not because you don't need the silver now, but because maybe you want to stockpile the silver so you don't use it maybe for items later in the game. So as you can see there, the 1 times pull at 100 times, so I calculated out, I did 1 times pull times 10, and then times 50, and then times 100. I did it for all 3 of them. So as you can see there, the 1 times pull averages 5,500,000 silver at the same pace as 100 pulls. The 10 times pull averaged 5,710,000, so about 210,000 higher than the 1 time pull. The 50 time pull averaged 7 million. And again, that was only 6 sessions that I recorded, and one of those sessions had that Schultz commendation in there. So it might be skewed a little bit. Maybe that is accurate. You still do get 50 times the rate than the normal. As far as the 100 times pull, it's 6,661,000, so that's pretty decent. Either way, it still looks like doing the higher pulls is a little bit more lucrative, and as well as with the Breath of Creations and Breath of Lives. As you can see there with the Breath of Creations and Lives, I didn't pull a single one at any of the 20 tries that I did while rolling those 20. When I did it at the 10 times, I pulled 1 of each. When I did it with the 50 and the 100 times, I was pulling 4 and 4 out of each, and 8 and 7. So I was averaging 8 and 15 Breath of Creations and Breath of Life combo when I did it at a higher rate. So 50 times was averaging me 8, 100 times was averaging me about 15 between the 2 of them. So that is one way to farm the Breath of Life and Creations. Now again, it's not a super viable way. It is gonna, out of 100 pouches, you're getting 15. Even if you farm that all day, all week, it's going to get 1,000, maybe 1,500 at the end of the week, and that's going to get you 1 to 200 of each of those, which is enough to craft maybe 1 outfit if you really go hard. So it's not super good, but it is, again, the only way to actually farm those 2 items aside from using stamina. So you're probably wondering how much silver I made in total. In total, out of the 1,127 roughly Sausan supply pouches, I made about 70 million total silver. I did stockpile that and I used it all in one shot. It was about 60,000 silver per pouch. So I was curious, if you're like me, you guys are probably curious, where's the best place to farm? So here's just a little bit of an insight for you guys. So on the left is the per hour average without hot time. You're able to probably average about 15 pouches roughly, with a 60,000 silver average each. That's about 900,000 silver on top of the silver that you get from farming at these Sausan locations. Okay, so the other location on the right that I highlighted here is the Helms area, so Helms Cave, Outpost, or Highlands. Now you can actually do 2 repeatable quests at these areas. If you do pick up both repeatable quests, that's 8 black stones for each repeatable quest. You do that 2 times per hour on average. That's 16 total black stones per hour that you can farm on average. Now that's a little low. I know there's some of you guys out there that can farm 3 or 4 times if you're checking your device or have your whatever you have set up going on. I only had the chance to check it about 2 times. The 150,000 Blackstone average for the sales on the market is low as well, but to give you guys a little bit of an idea, the Sausan Garrison repeatable quest gives 7 Blackstones, the Helms area gives 8 at once, and you can get 2 to 2.5 of those done in the same time frame. That's 9 more Blackstones an hour, which is 1.35 million silver. Even after taxes, that's 940,000 silver. So 45,000 silver. So you actually still make more silver, even if you were to sell the Blackstones at the Helms areas. And that's lowballing the amount of times you can farm this and how much silver each Blackstone is going for. So you can actually make a lot more silver at the Helms area. The downside is you can make the Breath of Life and Creations. So based off of my tests, you should be farming Helms areas for silver and for black stones, which essentially you could be selling for silver. Now, if you wanted the breath of life and creations and the opportunity to make those supply pouches, which you could stockpile for the silver, it is also a decent viable option. But again, based off of my numbers, you're going to make more silver in the Helms areas. If you're going for experience, I recommend a pre-North Medea territory, so South Medea or Kron underwater area. That's everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoy. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And with that being said, I will see you next time.